So let's talk a little bit about lookups. The idea behind a lookup is to take, let's just open up our our customers file, and you'll notice one of the fields in here is the country, and I want to augment this with a country code which doesn't exist in this customer CSV file. It does exist, however, in the country codes file. Here you can see I've got a country name and a couple of different codes for it. So let's shut this down. The first thing I'm going to do is to actually define some metadata, because I'm going to need metadata for my lookup. So let's come to here and create new metadata from a flat file. We'll go and find let me just bring this up fully into view. We'll go and find our country codes file, and this was covered in an earlier section. I'll repass it, yes. And there we can see here now we've got the metadata set up. Let's give this a nice name, country codes as our metadata name, and that's done. So now let's go and set up the lookup itself. So I'm going to right click here. I'm going to have to move this down up a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Lookup tables, create an internal lookup, so it's only going to be accessible by this graph. We can share it later as covered in an earlier, actually it's covered in the next section, how to externalize this lookup. Anyway, we're going to do a simple lookup. These types are also all covered in the quick start guide. I won't go into that here. We're going to use the simple lookup, which is memory based and very fast. Call this country code lookup, and we just define the metadata. So there's country codes. Now, which is the lookup field? Well, we're going to be looking up on the full country name. So let's select that and press OK. Where is the lookup file? So we could actually paste the data in directly in the corresponding format to the metadata, or we'll just get it each time it runs from the file. So let's go and find that in here. Country codes. OK. Finish. So what we've done here is we've dragged in the this thing called lookup join. I'll do that from scratch so you can see me setting it up. So that is actually a joiner, lookup join. So we're going to connect the edge to it. So we've now got the input customer metadata format coming in to the lookup join. Now the format that goes out, we defined here actually the output customers, which is the same, but we added the customer code field onto the end, which is the one you can see here. So I just join that edge together and assign the output customers format. So now what we have to do is to just define the join. So let me come in here. Slightly running out of time on this video, so let's be quick. What is the lookup table? Well, that's the one we just did, country code lookup. What is the join key? It's going to be joined on country. Okay. So we should be okay for those now. So now we have to do the transform. And the transform is, again, I'm going to have to bring this into the field of view. So we've got the input ports, we've got the customers, there's our lookup, and there's the output. So I'm going to press the auto rules button, which will map every field it can. And now I have to just take the code one, drag that in, and that's going to map to the country code in our output metadata. And that's it. So when we now run this, if I've done this right, let's run that. Let's put debugs on here, and we'll run it. Bring this back down into view. Okay. And there we can see 92 records have been read in, customer records. It hasn't managed to join everything. I'm not really worried about being perfect here, but it's managed to find 71 of those customers. If the country were found in the lookup, and if I browse those, here you can see now, if I scroll to the end, there is our customer code that was pulled from the lookup table.